my name is Molly Walsh, and I'm the Executive Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Salle University. So I work with our undergraduate admissions team. So I oversee our team of 8 admissions recruiters, and we work with families who are coming in, students and families who are coming in as full-time undergraduate day students, so both first year and transfer students. And we're really here to help them through every step of the process. So applying, getting through the financial aid process, and then hopefully choosing to enroll at LaSalle. So the FAFSA is basically the free form that the federal government uses to determine how much students and their families might be able to pay for college. And then they shared that information with colleges and universities that the student has indicated they want to receive their information to help colleges and universities, figure out what they're able to award students in terms of need-based financial aid. Really, there's a lot of different funding that's available for students. So that's why it's so important to complete the FAFSA. There's a ton of funding that is out there for students who might need some extra support to go to college. So the federal government has a grant program and a loan program. Students in Pennsylvania are eligible. Some are eligible for the Pennsylvania state grant. Colleges and universities have grant money. So all of that's money, outside of loans that doesn't need to be paid back that a student might be eligible for based on what information we're seeing from the FAFSA. So grants and scholarships are money that is basically free to the student, doesn't need to be paid back in any way. We've spoken with a number of students and their families who have had some trouble with the rollout, right? Weren't able to access the FAFSA, maybe had difficulty connecting family members within the FAFSA system itself, trying to just get an FSA ID created, getting SAIs back. So everyone, has seemed to be struggling a little bit right at the beginning, but we've really been there to work through things with students. We hosted an in-person financial aid night back in January, and our financial aid staff sat down one-on-one with families that were here and helped them to navigate things and help them get kind of as far through things as they could. We do also offer individual financial aid counseling, even though the FAFSA, even though we don't have the data and financial aid packages available yet, our financial aid staff has appointments available every day, and our financial aid office is open until 6 at night, Monday through Thursday, in order to help students kind of figure things out. If you just need someone to talk to, we're really here in order to support students through that process, because we know it's just been a little difficult and stressful. So we're always here for students one-on-one, but we've made sure to provide some extra support this year a little bit earlier. And also we have continued to communicate with students. So as we've gotten information about the FAFSA and timelines and things like that, we've made sure to roll that out to students right away and their families so that everyone's kind of on the same page in terms of what we know is what they know. Our admission staff is listed on our website. So there's also information about which territory an admissions counselor works with, so which students. And specifically for Philadelphia, we do have 2 admissions counselors who are dedicated to serving students from Philadelphia. So students can reach right out to their admissions counselor, and then students who have been admitted to LaSalle are able to access a lot of this information on their admitted student portal. So our advice and sort of advising around the FAFSA hasn't really changed. We continue to push students to file the FAFSA, and sort of, our first point of conversation with students right now is hey, have you filed the FAFSA? Letting them know that we don't have the data yet, but we are, as long as they've sent it to us, we're going to be ready to rock and roll as soon as we have that information. So we're really still encouraging students to get FAFSAs filed and get them submitted, because we know that there's a lot of money out there for students in order to help them achieve their dream of going to college. So May 1st, we do participate in the May 1st National College Decision Day, National Candidates Reply Date, sort of, referred to as both of those things. Right now, our deadline is still technically May 1st, but just as we always have, we're really willing to work with students on a one-to-one basis. If they're not ready on May 1st to commit to LaSalle, we're able to work with them and extend that. We encourage students to get in before May 1st. Of course, all of this is sort of dependent on the FAFSA rollout. So we will continue to work with students if, financial aid packages are getting out later than we anticipate, and kind of helping them on that. But we want to make sure that they're able to, register for classes and orientation and housing and all of those things. And we've been working with folks on our campus to make sure that they know that some students are going to come in after May 1st this year and might need a little bit more time because of this rollout. So making sure that everyone else on campus is set for those things. So for example, we have a one-day summer orientation, and we've already planned to offer that into July this year, which is a change from last year. Yeah, I think a really important piece of the puzzle, in addition to finances, is fit, right? So we want to make sure that students are still finding a right fit university for them while they're trying to figure out this financial piece as well. So we are really encouraging students to come to campus, come visit, don't wait for the financial aid package to come visit. Come check out our campus, come take a tour, come to one of our many admitted student events. Something that we've added this year is that we do have financial aid staff present at all of our admitted student events. Typically they're sort of at our larger scale events for one-on-one counseling, but we had a reception last night for admitted students, and we had a financial aid counselor there. So we still have financial aid staff present to speak with students if they want to talk about that. But in the meantime, I think getting visits done is a really important piece of that. So then how you're feeling about a college or university by that time the financial aid package comes in, and it might help make the decision a little bit faster once you have those financial aid packages in hand. I think looking at all of the financial aid awards together for any institution that a student might have received them from, and I think it's really about figuring out that bottom line cost. So sometimes, School A might offer $20,000 in scholarship, and School B might offer need-based financial aid, and School B might offer $10,000, but the cost between the two schools is $10,000 different. So the bottom line might look very similar. So I think it's really figuring out that bottom line number. And something we do at LaSalle is put that cost right in the financial aid package. So we want to make it as clear as possible, and we have a whole line about just here's what we anticipate that you will owe based on the information that we have right now for the year. And we break it out by semester. So figuring out what that number is going to look like, every financial aid package looks a little bit different. So taking some time to figure it out, and then reaching out to admissions counselors and financial aid staff members kind of as soon as you have questions. So we're ready. As soon as our financial aid packages go out, we are going to be reaching out to our admitted students, and our financial aid staff is going to actually kind of, beef up the financial aid counseling appointments that they offer, to offer more of them at different times during the day and in the evenings, in order to make sure that we're ready to go and answer any questions that students might have. So kind of really just taking some time to review the package, and again, sort of figuring out what that final cost is going to look like. So for every school, it's going to be a little different, and every school is going to explain it differently in their package, but also asking questions as soon as you have them. We're really here to work with students and help them figure it out. We want it to be the right fit, both, kind of personally and financially. We know finances are a huge piece of that. So we're here to work with students. We're here to help you figure it out, and help you get to where you need to be in order to afford an education here at LaSalle. Yeah, I remember my mom filing the FAFSA. I don't remember what I did, to be perfectly honest, and kind of my piece of that. I do remember her filing it, and this was before the FAFSA changed. So I remember her trying to get her taxes in order to get the FAFSA filed. But for me, financial aid was a huge part of my college decision. I was really lucky to, get a lot of scholarship and need-based financial aid in order to attend my alma mater. And my college education wouldn't have been possible without that. So I'm thankful, to have had that financial support from my alma mater in order to go to college. And that's why filing the FAFSA is so important, is that there are pathways to affording a college education.